平日の午前中にもかかわらずありがとうございます。すいません。ですね、ちょっと静かにしてくれるすいません。ですね、2週間にわたって、プロジェクト型インターンシッププログラムという形でマーケティングのプロジェクトを、7人の学生さんにしていただきました。で今回、今年が初めての年なんですけれども、我々の方で事前にレストランを2つ、見つけておいて選択させていただいて、そのオーナーの方にそれぞれ課題を出していただいて、その課題に基づいてみんなが2週間にわたっていろんなマーケティングの仕事をするということで2週間明日で終了となります。で選ばせていただいたレストラン、懐石料理の有名なベスト50、全米ベスト50に選ばれたワズ田原さんと、それから細かい質問にも追加質問を答えていただいたともさんとお越しいただいてます。ありがとうございます。であと居酒屋で今かなり巷で騒がれているたまりバーの、木本、オーナーの方が、来ていただいてます。本当に朝から申し訳ありません。すいません。木本さん、田原さん、ともさん、本当にありがとうございます。で追っかけでちょっと後でマーケティングの、セッションを、2回にわたってかなり厳しくみんなにやってくれて、あとキャリアセミナーもしていただいて、今日もお越しいただいている和田さんという方が後でこちらに、お越しいただいてます。であといろんな ICC の卒業生の人たちにも手伝っていただいて、で今日は現役の学生にもこうやって応援に来ていただいて、でみんなの、プレゼンテーションを応援していただくということになっています。で今回、2つのチームに分かれて、まずたまり場チームから発表させていただきますが、大体持ち時間50分、質疑応答は日本語で、初めのプレゼンの部分は英語という形で進めさせていただきます。ですので初めのプレゼンは英語なんですけれども、あと質疑応答になれば皆さん自由にまずオーナーの方から学生の方から質問していただいて、であとみんな自由に質疑応答でお願いします。それでは、昨日もほぼ寝ていないたまり場チームからよろしくお願いします。頑張ってください。
Surprised? Well, we were too when we were greeted with this same "irashaimase" when we went to TAMARI Bar. TAMARI Bar, as Mr. Kimoto said throughout when we heard from him, has a lot of power, has a lot of energy, and they want people who come to their restaurant to leave their place with energy. That is why, with our presentation, we want to give useful information, but we also want to give Mr. Kimoto and everyone else here a new energy, a new fire. We want to light a fire under them. We want to give them power by the end of the presentation. So we want you guys to sit back, enjoy yourselves, and we don't want this to be like a quiet presentation. We want this to be bright, entertaining, and we want everyone to laugh. So you can laugh at us, you can laugh with us, you can laugh for us, whatever you want. But we want to do this in a nice and simple manner, so thank you. So first, before starting our presentation, you're probably thinking, who the hell are we? So we'd like to introduce ourselves a little. First, myself. My name, Ken Taro. I'm 20 years old right now. I'm a university student. I like sports. I love the NFL. I love the NBA. I love the MLB. And as you can see from this picture, I'm not that sort of a fun guy. I obviously can't smile on the school album. And I think you can guess from this picture that I don't have a girlfriend. So if you guys know someone who doesn't want to go outside, doesn't have money, likes games, plays 10 hours a day, if you guys can show me someone who maybe likes a man like that, I think you guys can tell me. I'd be happy to take them on a date. Oh, and also, when I do try to smile, it doesn't really end up well. You can also tell that to them. Alright, thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is taつろう. This is my first time abroad. My hobbies are watching soccer game and watching badminton game. What I want to do now is travel to Italy because the favorite anime stage is Italy, and there is a favorite soccer team. By the way, I went to Universal Studio Japan in Osaka this time in last year. Oh, this is the fault of this is the fault at that time. Thank you.
Hi, I'm from Fukushima and I live in Tokyo for university. I like to go traveling and to do nature activities like to go hiking or kayaking. And this is the picture when I've been to Pike Place Market just a few days ago. And I really look like typical tourist in Seattle. And differently, I'm sure this picture is gonna be the profile picture online. Thank you.
Alright, so I think you've heard enough about us and you really don't care anymore. So we're going to start talking about our client, TAMARI BAR-san. You know, it's going to take forever to talk about all the good stuff about TAMARI BAR, so we just jammed this all into one slide. You don't need to look at everything, but we put slides of pictures of food when we went to TAMARI BAR, the place, the atmosphere, the staff there, and also Mr. Kimoto here. And so I think we'd like to briefly introduce TAMARI BAR because not everyone knows the place. TAMARI BAR opened last year in 2018 and also has a sister store called Suika Bar, which is fairly close to TAMARI BAR here. Suika Bar is really highly rated on Yelp, as you can see here, 4.6 stars. And we actually tried to research how much people like this store. And we found that after reading 150 reviews, 97% of people said the service at TAMARI BAR was really good. On top of that, 95% said that the atmosphere was cool and it was really easy to eat there. They also said that 83% of people liked the food there. On top of that, Yelp ranks TAMARI BAR as the third best Japanese restaurant in Seattle. So we thought to ourselves, why did they even call us? I mean, it's pretty much a success. But when we asked Mr. Kimoto that, he said that, yeah, maybe people might rank them like that, but he doesn't see this restaurant as a success. He still sees ways to go. And we were actually given 2 specific tasks to try and make this restaurant better. First, this is from Home Alone, if you guys know. Home Alone is when a child tries to get over his first winter home alone. And I thought it was sort of close to TAMARI BAR because TAMARI BAR is is encountering their first winter with a patio there. They didn't have a patio last year, but this year they have a patio outside. This patio accounts for 60 seats of the entire, out of the entire restaurant, which means that a lot of the revenue comes from this patio. The use of this patio is, important to their revenue, and also is really important to their atmosphere. So what to do with this patio is probably problematic for TAMARI BAR, and we tried to tackle this problem. The second is how to promote events. TAMARI BAR has done a lot of events in the past. We've done Halloween, New Year's. We've also done a cheesy event called Komember, which is putting Japanese word for rice, which is kome, and November together to make Komember. They've done a lot of events, but they don't know how much these events have been useful, how much they've helped their revenue. So we decided, we'll explain later on, but we decided that we should make bigger events and probably put a big step into not just promoting ourselves, but going outside and actually selling at different places. Now this is a little bit of a sidetrack story, but first when we were given this task, we thought, let's just brainstorm, let's try to be geniuses and think right on the spot. This is easy. And we thought, what can we do with this task? Maybe we can put in some Japanese food that's warm. Maybe we can do some events that maybe kids will come to. And we asked Mr. Kimoto about these events, and he said, oh, okay, they're not bad. And we thought, man, this is chill, this is easy. There's nothing to do here. But then on Monday, when we tried to explain this to Mr. Wada, our marketing advisor, well, he didn't really take it that well. He explained to us that we were all doing this with feeling. There was no logical aspect to it. We didn't put any marketing enterprise or marketing statistics into this. So from Monday on until today, we've really focused on the marketing stuff. What segments we're going to target. What sort of strategy we're going to use. You might really be wondering what a segment is. A segment is basically the target area that a restaurant or whatever business you're doing is trying to target. It's like when you're trying to find a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You can't say, oh, I want to date everyone here. You need to actually focus on one person, right? That's the best way you're going to have a chance to succeed. So that's the same with business. You can't be, oh, okay, I want to take this, I want to take this, I want to take this, I want to take everyone. You can't do that. You need to target on one person and try and see, okay, we're going to try and get these people to come here. We were also told by Mr. Wada a technique called the mind flow. This mind flow is the process of first knowing, buying, trying, and becoming a fan of a certain product. So this is actually from the customer's perspective. This is trying to know what they want. If they know the product, if they're going to buy the product, if they buy the product, if they're going to try it and enjoy it, and in the end, if they're going to become a fan of it. So we decided to actually focus on what target we're going to do. We chose a segment, and we put it into this mind flow and saw which part of this process was actually the problem. Next, we're going to start explaining how we think we can fix the task we were given.
The other day, we had a time to talk to the owner, and he said they don't have specific target. But this time, we set up the segment, and the segment is the person who comes to TAMARI Bar often. This is the Mind Pro, and we saw these points are very important to solve our tasks and focus on the two tasks. There are so many seats at patio, and many people here like to use patio. In fact, the biggest source of income is from patio at the TAMARI Bar. We guess it will be the biggest program because it's going to be the first winter for them. What's your impression of Seattle? In my case, it's expensive to live or costs a bunch of money to eat out here. It said Seattle is the rainy city and winter it rains a lot. We went to some restaurants who has patio as well as TAMARI Bar, and we asked how they use patio when it's winter, and they said they remove patio. We think that's the chance for TAMARI Bar, and because thinking in reserve can help you find approaches to the program. All of these stuff are essentials when it's not an earthquake, but also at patio in winter. We gave an interview with some people who used patio at Mexican restaurant in Capitol Hill. And we asked what makes you feel like eating at patio in winter. Then we figured out what they need. That is kotatsu. But when we had the time to talk to the owner at the TAMARI Bar last time, he said it's a bit impossible in any ways. And So we thought, how about putting software or blankets? I mean, to provide people comfy place is to make community or connection to neighborhood. To spend quality time with family or friends is better than anything else. Yes. Oden is Japanese winter food, but it's not still popular in the States. And someone eat oden at an outside or while you are passing in front of them. What do you think? I think you will probably feel like eating oden or makes you feel hungry.
In the second task, we considered a cut party. I thought TAMARI bar recommended highball and karaage set was easy to carry. But I didn't think that TAMARI bar couldn't take full advantage of our strength because we can't offer a take-out service. Therefore, I thought that I could acquire new customers from the point of opening stores for music festivals and sports games that can be easily carried around. As a specific example, consider opening a store at a music festival. We put the people going to music festival into perspective and try to fix the problems found when we went over the main floor. For those who forget, we found that there were problems in the appeal comparison section and the share section. To fix the barrier for the appeal comparison section, we thought that the noise of flying karaage and the smell of the food will be enough to invite customers and make them interested. To fix the share barrier. We assume that people coming to these festivals will post pictures of highballs and karaage onto SNS. Also, another way the share barrier can be fixed is by the artist playing at the festival. The artist can act as influencers and post pictures of the high color onto the internet. Due to these pictures, people who don't know TAMARI bar and aren't even at the event can gain interest in the restaurant. As a bonus, by using the right intentions that occur during music festival, we believe that customers could feel as so they get a right intention due to the high color as well. We called this the rope bridge effect. For the other event, we thought from the perspective that Mr. Kimoto wants TAMARI bar to become our restaurant where many people came to gather in the future. For starters, if TAMARI bar wants to gather many people, there must be people who have interest in all sorts of areas. That is why we looked at characteristics that are unique, but also have a lot of supporters. this is how we came to the conclusion of targeting events for dog owners and baseball MFL lovers. In this section, I will be looking at specific ideas for dog owners. The reason why I chose event for dog owner is because I saw at least one dog every day I walked outside. Then there are even numbers that show dogs are popular in Seattle. We found that Seattle is ranked 9th in the US as the easiest place for dogs to live. On top of the Seattle has a statistic that shows there are more dogs than children in the city. Popularity of dogs is the main reason why we looked at dog owners for events. When we did the mind flow through the perspective of dog owners, owners, we found that there are barriers blocking the recognition and visit category. First, the barrier for recognition can be fixed by, of course, using SNS, but also by giving out flyers to people at dog run and to people walking their dogs. And another idea is to work with pet stores, therefore allowing the recognition of the event to go up. The barrier of visiting was due to the fact that owners are scared of the safety of their dog. For this reason, we came up with a few ideas. The first is having the day of event be a complete reservation system. Second is to have an area where the dogs can roam around in the patio. The third is to have the event be 2 hours so the dog do not get stressed out. By having a time limit for the event, it became possible to take pictures with everyone at the end. And these pictures will then go up on SNS, be spread via SNS, and find more dog owners who will participate in the event next time. Using the story system on Instagram, for example, will allow users on SNS to see what the event is like and get a realistic taste of it. These stories can be put on the account page for others to see by using the highlights menu, which we will explain later on.
Alright, so we finished trying to fix the main task that Mr. Kimoto and TAMARI BAR has given us. And obviously I think you're tired of listening to us of our boring presentation, and I really don't want to talk that much as well because I'm about to cry and go home because I don't like speaking in front of people. But we actually found some really small extra ideas that maybe TAMARI BAR could put into, and I thought it'd be nice if we could show them and maybe help them in the future. First is maybe making a Twitter account. You guys might think, why Twitter? But Twitter is really easy to share information because with one button, you can share information that you've posted to 500, 600, maybe 1,000, 2,000, based on the followers you have. Now you might be thinking, well, Twitter's dead, like this picture. It's hard, it can't fly anymore. But the truth is, when you look at the numbers, everyone thinks, oh, Instagram's the way to go right now. Instagram's what you need to do. But if you look at the numbers, it's not that actually different. If you look at it, there's 63% of people in their 20s use Twitter. Well, 68, 69%. Okay, that's a difference. But if you look at the 30s, it's almost exactly the same. If you look at the people coming to TAMARI Bar, we heard from Mr. Kimoto that it's mostly 20s and 30s who come there. If you look even later on, 40s, 50s, 60s, you can see that Twitter has an even higher usage rate than Instagram. If we look at how easy it is to share information on Twitter compared to Instagram, where you need to take a picture, post it on a story, post it on your account, I think it might be easier to share information on Twitter because it's easier to spread the information. Also, you can easily connect Twitter and Instagram. So if you post something on Instagram, you can do the same post on Twitter with just one button. So it's not really that much of a pain if you think about it like that. Next is like really, really small changes. But while we were looking for competitors that are izakayas in Seattle, we used Google Maps and Instagram and Yelp. Now, when we did our research and we went to a couple Starbucks and restaurants, we found that people use Google Maps and Instagram a lot to find their food. A lot more than I thought. Google Maps, almost 82% of people, and we surveyed 33 people, use Google Maps as their main source of researching. 58%, though it's not the main source, said they use Instagram to search for their food, to search for their restaurants. Now let's take a look at two izakayas that are in Seattle. One's M2U00004-08 izakaya. I don't know if you know, but it's I think 10 minutes, it's 15 minutes. I think we walked 15 minutes from TAMARI Bar to get there. I want you guys to look at the three tabs that are below. TAMARI Bar says message and what questions you have. For M2U00004-08 it says message, reservation, and mail. Now, which button are you probably going to press if you go to this page? I think if you have the reservation tab on it, it's much easier to go right to Yelp to reserve your seats. You can also see what other people are saying about your store. You don't have to go back to the internet to search on Yelp again, search the restaurant. It's much easier. It's really a small change. It's the same thing for Google Maps. We look at it, and then you see, for M2U00004-08, you see you can go to Yelp straight from Google Maps. On the other hand, for TAMARI Bar, there's nothing where you can reserve. You can go by phone, but it's not really useful for the restaurant itself to be having phone calls all day trying for people who are trying to reserve seats. These are really small changes, but while we were trying to find restaurants, we found it was much easier to go straight to Yelp, to look at what other people are saying, to try and reserve. Last, we wanted to show the great atmosphere and service of TAMARI Bar to the people. Now, this is from our experience, but also from Yelp. As we said before, for atmosphere of the TAMARI Bar, 95% of people on Yelp, when we read 150 reviews, said that the atmosphere was really good. They enjoyed it. For the service also, 97% of 150 people, of 150 reviews we read, said that the service was really good. And Mr. Kimoto himself said that service is probably the strongest point of TAMARI Bar. We thought, is there any way we can show the service and atmosphere of TAMARI Bar in an event or maybe in the winter? But unfortunately, we couldn't find that one event or one idea that we could show in our presentation. So we thought, why not use Instagram a little more? This is my Instagram page. If you want to follow it, go ahead. I don't have that many followers, so it'd be really helpful. But I made some highlights that maybe TAMARI Bar could use. So first is one called Our Staff. This I thought we could use by saying maybe once a week you could introduce your staff. Because we know the people are good because they're saying the service is good. So if we bring maybe an introduction video of the staff, show each of them, show how friendly they are, show if you come to the store, you're going to be able to talk to them, to have good service. We thought it'd be really easy for people to know about them. Also, as you can see, if you look at this page, it's really easy to click on the highlight screen because it comes up at the top. Also, we also made another one called Work Time. When you look at TAMARI Bar's Instagram page, sorry, we couldn't get the photo, but we see a lot of foods there, we saw a lot of drinks there, but we can't see what the store is like when it's working. That was one of the questions we had before going to TAMARI Bar. After we went, we saw the atmosphere. It's like, wow, this is chill. This is like, it's nice music, nice people. It's really dark. But we really can't see that when we look at the Instagram of TAMARI Bar. So once again, we said, all right, why not use stories? Why not use highlights? It's easy for them to look at that. It's easy for them to know about it. So these are just some small changes that we thought could be useful. And lastly, for my conclusion, I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Kimoto and TAMARI Bar for allowing us to have this opportunity to help you. I'm also a little sorry that we couldn't give that much of good information, but just from our perspective, it's been a pleasure to help you guys to try and market, and I think that this opportunity and this experience is going to help us in the future. Thank you.
僕ちょっとその途中で出てきた何回か出てきた表の部分がちょっといまいちよく分からなかったんですけど、それとかその最初の方にも一回出てきた。
ちょっとうまく
ちょっと箸が切れてた。
うまくちょっと関連できなかったんですけど。
見方というか、
要するにこれはセグメントを、冬の場合は新規顧客よりは、今来ているTAMARIバーを、TAMARIバーに訪れて満足してもらった、あるいは気に入ってくれた客に着目して、その客を、いかに取りこぼさないかと、彼らにシェアしてもらうっていう点で、新規顧客を間接的に呼び込むことを考えて、セグメントをこれで決めて、でこのマインドプロの見方は、新規顧客の場合はTAMARIバーに来たことあるので、プロモーション売り方っていうのはあまり関係なくて、もう認知はされてるっていうことで、認知は特に、障害もなく通り過ぎるで、訪問もしてもらえる冬場でも。なぜなら彼らは認知気に入ってもらってるっていう点で訪問もしてもらえると考えて、次に訪問してから興味比較について考えて、ちょっと和田さんには順番ちょっと違うんですけど、多分今回の場合冬場なので、あとセグメントの場合は来てもらってから興味比較で、その場合場所なんですけど、TAMARIバーの場合外の席と中の席があって、今のTAMARIバーのままであれば、ちょっと冬だと外が寒い、あるいは雨に濡れちゃうという障害があるから、ここちょっとストップサインなんですけど、一つ障害があると見て、障害がありますっていうことにしました。で、次、 来店しました、場所決めました、その次メニューもちろん見て品を選ぶことなんですけど、その次にまた興味比較の、点があって、要するに冬に寒い商品とか冬に合わない商品っていうのはもちろんあるんですけど、要するに季節ごとに商品を変える。たまりバーは去年すき焼きとか鍋とかちょっとやってたと伺ったんですけど、インスタとか見た限りあんまり広告とかちゃんと前に押し出してなかったんで、これをちゃんとアピールさせて比較させて、これらをちゃんと一押しにする。冬場にはもってこいの商品を考える。私の場合はおでんと考えたんですけど、他にも鍋、すき焼き、ロバートさんとかもすき焼きはめちゃめちゃ人気なので、それらも取り入れたらいいかなと思って、季節性を持った商品をまずアピールさせる。で、最後に経験体験は、たまりばあさんはサービスも雰囲気もめちゃめちゃいいので、食べ物もめちゃめちゃいいので、体験に関しては何も問題ないかと思われて、これは障害なしでいって、最後場所もそうなんですけど、商品もシェアしてもらいたいなと思って、プレゼンでは、ちょっと雨を防ぐために、シートをかぶせるのはたまりさんのお母さんも考えてるんですけど、あったかい毛布とか、あとはやっぱ冬って言えばなんかアットホーム感とか結構家族で集まってみたいな感じなので、もう思い切ってソファーとか導入してみて、それを新しい考え方としてシェアしてもらえれば、間接的ではありますけど新顧客が集まればいいかなと思ってたんですけど、今のままではちょっとシェアしにくいと思われたんで、ここも一つの障害としてマインドフローを完成させたんで、なんか実際に客が来てると想像して考えたのがマインドフローと俺らを認識したんですけど、
すいません、一つたまりばあさんの大ファンが実はここにいて、たまたまなんですけど、たまりばあさんとスイカに、ヘビーユーザーがたまたまいたのでお二人の感想も教えてくれる。もうしょっちゅう行ってるってことなので。
たまりバーとスイカ多分合計10回ぐらい行って友達もめっちゃ連れてっています。牛田と申します。よろしくお願いします。プレゼンテーションありがとうございました。そこで1点質問なんですけれども、インスタグラム主に使っていかれると考えてるのはインスタグラムの方ですよね。
はい、インスタグラムが
SNS ではインスタグラム使用するんですけど、
で、ツイッターを
そうですね、コストの労働とかなんかどのくらい重荷になるかって考えたらインスタグラムと連携できるので、そこまで重荷もできず、また拡散可能性を秘めてるので、解説もし可能であればしても、さらに名前を上げるチャンスかなと思ってて、たまりばあさんちょっと発表にはあんまり入れなかったんですけど、できればイベントやりたくない、要するに口コミで広がる店、それはどの店もそうなんですけど理想的なので、今回私たちが考えているイベントも結構もしかしたらお金もかかるしコストもかかるし時間もかかるんですけど、犬の飼い主とかの場合は犬のためのイベントとかめったにないじゃないですか。要するに本当に彼らのためのイベントがあれば魅力的であって、本当にたまり場を使ってくれるようなそう人たちのためのイベントとか、あとはフェスとかは結構ありがちとは思われるんですけど、たまりばあさんの強みであるハイカラ、食べ物の美味しさを使ってその食べ物の最大限に生かしていろんなユーザーを増やすっていうことを目指して、そうですね、イベントはちょっと大きめのやつを考えました。
そこで質問なんですけど、イベント告知する際の告知の方法っていうのが私あんまり分かってなくって、そのセグメント決めはって、例えば犬飼ってはる人たちってした時に、その SNS とかで告知すると思うんですけど、その SNS とかで告知する際にどうやってそこの層にリーチするのかっていうのがあんまり分かってなくって、で犬持ってはる人らっていうのがなんか20代前半やとやっぱ、家族とかやったらあると思うんですけど少なかったりとか、なんかあんまよく分かってないんですけど、そこの層が。でその層とFacebookじゃなくてインスタを使ってる層っていうのがマッチしてるのかっていうのがちょっと疑問やって、なんかそこはどうなんかなと思って、 だから私の質問としてはイベントはどうやって告知するのかっていうのとその層とインスタっていうのがマッチしているのかっていうのが私の質問です。
インスタグラムで告知する際はハッシュタグを工夫すれば興味ある人は多分ハッシュタグで常にその興味関心あることについて調べていると思うのでまあ引っかかるとは思うんですけどインスタグラム使用してる年代と犬飼ってる年代っていうマッチっていうのはうちの調査不足で、まあ、調べてはないです。
ありがとうございます。
ただ一応プレゼンにも言ったんですけど SNS よりは犬ですと結構いるとこが分かりやすいじゃないですか。ペットストアとか行きがちですしドッグランとか、まあ、散歩してる人ってのはちょっと厳しいかもしれないですけど犬がいるっていうのはめっちゃ分かりやすいので物理的な要するに、ポスターとか配るのも他のイベントに比べればやりやすいので私たちはなんか SNS っていうよりは他のいろいろなやり方があるかなと思って犬にも着目しました。
犬飼ってはる人たちにもお客さんとして新しい層っていうか
そうですね、新しい層あるいは
として取り込みたいっていう。
パティオっていうのは、冬の場合ちょっと弱みになっちゃう可能性もありながら強みであるっていうのは間違いないのでそれを最大限活かせるイベントとして、まあ、ありかなと思います。
ありがとうございます。
もう一人のヘビーユーザー、たまりばさん、ヘビーユーザーよろしく。
はじめまして、藤木と申します。プレゼンテーションありがとうございました。今その SNS が一つの案みたいな感じで言ってあったんですけど、自分を見ててその SNS を有効活用するのはすごいいいことだなと思って、まあそのビラ配りする労力とかも必要ないし、本当に指とちょっと頭を動かすだけでいけるなと思ったので、そこをなんかもうちょっと活用できないかなって見てて思って、そのプレゼンを聞いてる時はもう本当に多分この感じだったらたまりばあさんがすごいもう SNS フル活用っていう感じのイメージが見受けられたんですね。すごいだからせっかくやったらもう私たちの世代とかやったらもう SNS が常に日頃からある状況じゃないですか。で例えば日本だったらこの写真をなんていうんですか、そこのお店の宣伝をインスタグラムにしてくれたら唐揚げサービスとかそういう顧客を巻き込んでる、巻き込みつつでも宣伝効果がすごいあることもよくやってて、なのでそういう顧客を巻き込んだイベント、簡単にできるイベントとかもどうなんかなって見てて思ったんですけど、何かそういう顧客を巻き込むとかそういう
たまりばあさんからの条件としては、値下げはできない。
安売り、ちょっと俺らの把握の仕方は分からなかったんですけど、安売り値下げは嫌なので、なるべくそういう唐揚げがあげますとかドリンクあげますとか、そういうのもいろいろ考えてはいたんですけど、まあやりやすい方法ではあるかなとは思いました。そういうのも一応考えをしました。まあ、あと SNS フル活用というのは直接的にはちょっともらった課題には直結しないのでそこまで深くは考えてないんですけど、もちろん最初自分たちリサーチする際はインスタグラムめちゃめちゃもう全投稿見てハッシュタグとか見て、ああこれハッシュタグどうなんだろうとか、もうそういう細かいところも言ったんですけど、今回のプレゼンで発表するという形にはならなかったかなと思ったので、すみません。
さすが IBP 鋭い切り口で質問してくれてありがとう。でもすごくスライドを見てくれてるっていう証拠なのですごく助かった。ありがとうございます。
ちょっと今の付随なんですけど、
はい、
さっきたまりばさんイベントが嫌い、やめたくないって言ったのは、その例えばイベントをやってそのフォトコンテストみたいなので写真を上げてもらってハッシュタグつけてもらって、その中でいい写真があったらその人になんかプレゼントあげようっていうのをやってたんですけど、まあ社員が今僕も含めてみんなすごい時間数で働いてる中でいろんな投稿が来て、そのお客さんとコンタクトを通してそこに商品を送るっていうのがやっぱりどうしても今のうちの会社の規模だと社員の負担がすごくて、で結局億劫になってやってしまう。だからこれが店舗が増えてきて事務員が1人でもいてそれを対応してくれるんだったらもうどんどんやっていきたいなっていうのはすごいあるんで、まあ、イベントをやりたくないっていうのは、まあ、スタッフの負担が今の段階で起きてもう通常の営業を忙しくするのが今当面の、まあ、目標でやっています。
はい、ありがとうございます。
いやいや全然俺はやりたくない派なんですけど、
そうとしてはそう
特にハロウィンとかね。あとじゃあ質問いいですか。
もちろんです。
すみません、いろいろありがとうございました。今日いろいろ勉強になって考え直したんですけど、さっきソーシャルメディアでお客さんがインスタとか Google マップでこうお店を探すと、あんまり僕それ知らなくて、イエルプとか、フードブログとかいろいろ読むと思うんですけども、例えば日本で日本の子たちがお店を探す時もインスタ Google マップで探すんですか、それとも食べログとか。
僕はインスタグラムしか、
てことは
インスタグラムかネットで調べて、その場所から地図
写真で見て行きたいの。
お店の商品と売ってる商品もちろん見て、あとは値段も見たりします。大学生なので。
じゃあそれ今流行るなんか映えっていうか綺麗に写真を撮ったらやっぱり行きたくなる。
やっぱ写真の撮り方によって美味しさ多分変わる、美味しさ見える美味しさって変わると思うんですよ。やっぱり綺麗に撮れてる写真の方がやっぱ美味しそうだなと感じます。
ちなみに今の、メジャーなとこ以外は何かあるんですか。例えば5つぐらい知りたい。例えばインスタがあって、イエルプがあって、わかんない Google マップがあって、他にもなんかそういうツールってあるのかなっていうのは。
僕言っていいですか。僕だったら例えばそのシアトル本食レストランって調べて、そうするとまとめたブログの記事が出てくるんですよ。そこでたまにバーさんがすごいおすすめですよね。僕はいつもそうやってレストラン探してます。
僕もそうなんです。旅行とか行くとホテルに泊まってその近辺のアドレスとなんか美味しいとか日本食とか入れてやるんですけど、やっぱりそれがだからトゥールは関係ないってことですよ。Google で検索する
で大体そのブログなんか最近だとブログ記事がしょっちゅうまとめられてるので、特に日本語だと。
なるほど。インスタグラムの場合一つの写真じゃなくてまとめて、例えば9枚の写真で色統一させて似た色を主にして、例えば緑主にして結構全体見た感じきれいにするみたいな、そういう商法も結構今人気で、それはちょっと宿の人になんか酔っ払って朝3時4時ぐらいにオーストラリア人になんかめっちゃ説教されて、こう他の普通に違う店なんですけど見て、こういう綺麗なのがすごい今流行ってるよってめっちゃ言われて、確かになと思って、バーって見た感じすごい綺麗に整ってて、各色別々になっていて、確かにこうなった方が見てる方も気持ちいいなと思って、もし参考になればって言うんですけど、このような一つ使われていました。ありがとうございます。
大丈夫ですか。じゃあ、5分間休憩を挟んで次のワズチームで、大丈夫ですか。はい、じゃあ5分間休憩お願いします。